Okay, let's talk about Japan. What's the secret sauce behind its incredible success? I mean, it's a question that has fascinated people for decades. So in this explainer, we're going to dive deep into the core philosophies, the cultural engine that completely transformed a nation.
So here's the central puzzle, right? You've got a nation with almost no natural resources, completely devastated by war, and then, boom. In just a few decades, it rises to become this global economic and tech powerhouse. So how on earth did they do it? Well, the answer isn't in what they had, but in how they thought.
And that's where we're going to start, right at the most fundamental level. See, before you can understand the nation, you've got to understand the individual. Japan's strength? It's really built from the inside out. It all begins with a powerful personal code.
Okay, so the first pillar of this code is something called Gaman. Now, this isn't just patience in the way we usually think of it. It's this deep, profound resilience. It's the strength to face incredible hardship with, a quiet dignity. This very spirit, Gaman, is what allowed people to rebuild from the absolute ashes of war. It's a mindset where failure isn't the end. It's just the first step to getting stronger.
Next up, we have Jikoseigyo, basically extreme self-discipline. And honestly, this is a huge reason why things in Japan just work. There's this incredible respect for time and for your responsibilities. It's why their trains are famous for arriving down to the second, why factory lines are just models of efficiency. When you take that personal discipline and you multiply it by millions of people, well, you get an incredibly smooth, super reliable national system.
And to round out this individual code, there's Reigi. This is that deep-rooted culture of etiquette and respect you see everywhere. A bow, it's not about submission at all. It's a sign of mutual respect. All those thank yous and sorries you hear, they're way more than just pleasantries. Think of them as the social lubricant that creates this amazingly harmonious, high-trust society where everything just clicks. All right, so we have these incredibly disciplined, respectful, and resilient individuals. But here's the thing, the real magic happens when they all come together. So now, let's look at how this personal code scales up, how it creates the collective power that literally fueled Japan's economic miracle. Right at the heart of Japan's industrial success is this idea called Kaizen, and it's such a simple but totally revolutionary concept. Continuous, small, incremental improvement. This isn't about waiting for one big breakthrough idea. Nope. It's about every single person, from the worker on the factory floor all the way up to the CEO, looking for tiny ways to make things just a little bit better, every single day. And this whole Kaizen process is just a relentless cycle. It's a loop, really. You spot a tiny problem, you suggest a small improvement, you implement that change, and then what? You immediately start looking for the next one. It's the buildup, the accumulation of thousands of these tiny daily improvements that leads to these massive gains in quality and efficiency over time.
Now, all of this is supported by another key idea, Kyōryoku, which is all about powerful cooperation. In Japanese culture, the team success is, it's the foundation for everything. There's this principle they call ware, which just means we. It's a total mindset shift. It's not what's in it for me, it's how can we succeed together. Individual success is seen as something that naturally grows out of the team's success. So when you put these two powerful ideas, Kaizen and Kyōryoku, together, what do you get? You get that world-renowned Japanese work ethic. It's a culture built on intense loyalty to the company, a super deep sense of personal responsibility for your work, and this relentless, non-stop drive to get the absolute best result possible.
And honestly, the results of this whole philosophy, they speak for themselves. I mean, look at these names: Toyota, Sony, Panasonic, Honda. These aren't just companies. They're global symbols of quality, of durability, of excellence. They are the physical proof of what happens when you put principles like Kaizen and Kyōryoku into action. Okay, so we've looked at the individual code and the collective power. But the big question is, how do you keep this going? How are these values passed down from generation to generation? Well, it's because they are literally woven into the fabric of society, starting from a very, very early age. And here's a fact that perfectly illustrates this, and it might just blow your mind. In most schools in Japan, there are no janitors. Yep, you heard that right. No janitors. So, who does all the cleaning? The students do. They clean everything themselves. From the very first day of school, the education system in Japan prioritizes character and discipline before academics. And by cleaning their own classrooms, hallways, even the toilets, Students learn this incredibly profound lesson. It's about shared responsibility, it's about respecting your environment, and it's about understanding the dignity of all kinds of work. The result, you get a whole generation that's self-reliant and gets their role in the community on a really deep level.
And this kind of training in childhood, it just blossoms into a national mindset. In Japan, quality isn't just some business goal. It's a matter of personal honor. Cleanliness isn't a chore, it's a social duty. You see this in action when Japanese sports fans famously clean up the stadium after a match. It's the exact same principle of shared responsibility that drives that incredible precision and craftsmanship you see in their world-famous products.
So as we start to pull all these threads together, you can see it's not just one single secret, is it? It's a whole self-reinforcing system. It's like a virtuous cycle, a feedback loop, where individual values empower the group and then society's structures turn around and nurture those same values right back in the individual.
So let's break it down one last time. You start with Gaman, right? That's your patient endurance, giving you resilience and strength. That's paired with Riji, the respect and etiquette that creates social harmony. With that harmony, you can have Kyōryoku, powerful team cooperation. And what pushes it all forward? Kaizen, that constant drive for improvement that leads to amazing productivity and quality. You can really see how each pillar just makes the other stronger. It's an incredibly powerful system.
When you boil it all down, it comes back to this one powerful belief, that your smallest personal action contributes to the biggest national outcome. So the secret to Japan's success, it's not really a secret at all. It's a shared commitment, something that's practiced every single day, but pretty much everyone. And that kind of leaves us with a question, doesn't it? What could you or your team or your community achieve if you embrace just one of these powerful ideas?